Yes.
Yes. Oh. Mm-hmm. So, may I have your name, please?
Uh, you can call me Mike. This is my English name.
Mm-hmm. What about your real name?
My Vietnamese name is Minh. My full name is Lê Hải Minh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where do you live?
Uh, I live in Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay. So I would like to start and I would like to talk about news or media. So where do you usually get the news from?
Um, I usually approach the news on the internet, like some kind of website like Newsing or Facebook, because there are lots of kind of options that I can choose on the internet.
Okay. Do you regularly read any magazine?
Not actually. I'm kind of person who like rather like do other thing like playing other game than reading a newspaper. So uh, I just read it twice a week around it.
Okay. Yeah. What do you read? What was the latest article you read on a magazine?
Mm, yes, this is sports news because I really love sports, so I tend to shut the how they are doing or are there any is there any something news on the sport? Yeah.
Okay. Do you often read the newspaper, the printed newspaper?
Actually, I'm not often read it because it's not more convenient to me to go out and buy the newspaper. So yeah, I like it to just surf on the internet because it at my fingertips.
Okay, yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
In what circumstances do you usually listen to the radio?
Mm, to the radio, I usually listen to the music because currently I need to spend a lot of time for learning, so I don't have a time for relaxing. So every time I have a chance to listen to the radio, I tend to like listen to music for just to chill out.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. So we are finished with the first part of the test. Now I would like to talk about part two.
Yes.
Okay, so you're using a computer, right?
Yeah, I'm using computer.
Okay, yes. So I will just share my screen so you could see part two.
Thank you.
Can you see it?
Yes, I see. I'm seeing.
Okay. You have 1 minute to prepare for this, and you have about 2 minutes to talk about the topic. Your 1 minute preparation begins now. You may begin talking about the topic now.
Yeah, when it comes to display television or station, I often watch. So I'd like to display about the film channel in the television that I often watch on my TV. Uh, in the past, actually, my family didn't have a TV to watch something on. Yeah, that they are sent it to customer. Uh, so I usually to move to my neighbor house to watch it, and the thing I like the more to watch on the television is action film. I love it because I like to see some famous actor in the action film, uh, and the way they act more really. So I really love it. Um, but I think some other people they don't like it because it's maybe it spent there a lot of time and they feel bored when they watch it. But I don't care about it. Yeah, actually because that's my feeling. So uh, mm, so I also think the television station is more improved in the future because nowadays we have a lot of angle that the film or television can approach. So and uh, they will provide for their customer more option, more fun, and so that's the reason why in the future they are more popular and they will improve a lot.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that's all for this part. Now, I would like to talk more about this topic.
Yes.
Okay, so we have been talking about a television or radio, the television that you often watch too. Now, how important do you, what is the future of newspaper in this age of internet?
I think in the future, the internet, some newspaper or yeah, in the internet is more development developed.
Mm,
This is because two reasons. Because in the internet age, so the people they are easy to reach the news, so they tend to go to the internet to read it. And another reason is the uh, the human now they are very they are curious about something news outside around them, so they need some place that provide the place to read the news.
okay, yep. And do you think there is any consequence of the decline of newspaper?
Hmm. Uh, could you ask me again?
Do you think there is a consequence of this decline of newspapers?
Hmm. Uh, so could you explain me the meaning of
Okay.
delay? Yeah.
Decline means decrease.
Mm, mm, yes, I think the newspaper, the development of newspaper, they will delight a lot in the future. Somehow, this is because fake news. So people they likely don't have strong belief about fake news. They deserve to read a real news and they want to yeah, they want to range their knowledge through that way. But if there are lots of fake news on the internet, so I think that's the drawback.
Okay. Yes. For my last question in this part, what can be done to make the media better quality in your country?
Mm, Personally, I think uh, the the most thing that make make the the most thing that make for the internet internet news. Sorry, internet news, right?
The media.
Yeah, in the media are more popular or more quality is the technique, because in my country is not more developed like another country, so we don't actually we have we don't have a good technique for to make a movie or the media more have a good quality. So I think in the future we need to learn more and maybe to go approach and learn about another country like Hollywood, to how they make a good movie or in the media.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of your speaking test.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are your comments.
Yeah. Yeah. See?
Um, Generally, congratulations. I would like to say that your ability to organize and develop your thoughts for IELTS speaking exam is already good enough. However, the problem that you need to improve is on your sentence structure. Okay, your sentences. Your ideas are okay. However, the way you organize your words, there are some problems. Okay, let's start with the use of vocabulary in part one. When you answered question number one, what is question number one? It's talking about where do you usually get the news from, right? Okay. When you said approach the news, okay. Approach the news. Can you approach the news? You cannot approach the news.
Read the news.
Okay. You will read the news or see the news. Okay. So the verb was not appropriate. Okay. So make sure the words you are using, especially verbs, are appropriate to what you are describing. Okay. Other problems I found here is your L sound.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are confused with N. Okay, example, you said on kinds of instead of saying all kinds of. Okay, you said that at least 2 times. Yeah, in that sentence, in that question. Okay. However, it's very good you have used many expressions like in other questions you used at my fingertips or on my fingertips. That's nice. Okay. You use other expressions like tend to. That's good. And others. Okay, others. The good thing here is you are using some expressions. You also try to use some adjectives, right?
I need.
Yeah, you need adjectives. Very good. However, the adjectives you used are quite limited, not enough. Okay. You used some, but I think it's not yet enough to get a good score in speaking IELTS.
Yeah, this means I need to use more
adjectives. Yeah. Exactly. Especially in part 2, right? We need to use lots of adjective there because it describes your personal experience. Okay.
Okay.
Another problem in pronunciation here is your I sound. I. Like for example, time.
Time.
Yes. So just imagine you say I am. I'm.
Yeah, time. Yes. Like this.
Okay, can you say I'm?
I'm.
Correct. So time.
Time.
Okay. Yeah, that's better. But when you say time, your mouth should go sideways. Time. Time.
Time.
Okay, not forward. Okay. Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay. And grammar. When you said when it comes to describe about, when it comes to is correct.
Yeah.
But the next word, when it comes to describe, that's not correct.
Describing, right?
Correct. You
Yeah.
got it. When it comes to describing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you said, but I usually to move.
Move.
What's wrong with that? Yeah, I usually move. That's right. Mm-hmm. Oh, one more thing. Very good. In part 2, you were able to describe the past. Yeah, you were able to describe the past and talk about the future. That's nice. Always try to remember that one. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Also, one more mistake is the use of we just have a few minutes. Okay. The use of plural nouns. Okay. You're familiar with plural nouns, right?
Yes, I know it, but sometimes maybe in the in the encounter, I forget it's the sound S sound at the end of the word.
Exactly. I was actually trying to wait that you will correct it, but you repeated the same mistake.
Yeah.
So, when you said watch in part 2, when you said when you go to your neighbors, you watch action film. Action film, right? But I think you want to say action films. It's impossible that you only watch one action film again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different action films. Okay. So it should be in the plural form. And is it famous actor or famous actors?
Yes,
Is it?
it has, yeah, it has.
So,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you mean famous actors?
yeah.
Many.
But
Oh,
actors, yeah,
okay. Yep. Uh-huh. And then you said some others people don't like it. You said I don't care and then blah blah blah. Some others people don't like it. What's wrong with that sentence?
others, I think so.
Yeah, some others do not use people anymore because people are already others, right? So some others don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't care, right? Because that's what you like to watch. Okay, very good. Got it. Uh-huh. Because that's your feeling. You said, that's my feeling. That's nice. And then you talked about the future. Very nice. Again, you repeated the vocabulary. You said television can approach. Yeah, you already used approach in part one.
Part one.
Yeah, but it was not used correctly, right? And then you used it again in part 2. You said television can approach. What do you mean by that? I'm actually confused.
Yeah, yeah. Currently, I think it's not make sense, right?
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Yeah. Okay. Television cannot approach. Okay, but we can, yeah, we can approach. People
Approach.
can approach someone or something. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, in part 3, okay. You were talking about, your answer is okay, no problem with that. However, you were talking about the future. You were talking about the future, but you used the present tense. So there is inconsistent use of the tenses of verb. Okay. You said the internet is more developed.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the future. You said in the future. Yeah. So what should be the sentence?
Will be
Yeah.
developed. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Or will be more developed.
Develop or going to be developed.
Yeah. Will be developed or is going to be developed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you are talking about the future, always remember, use the future tense. If you're talking about the past, use the past tense. If you're talking about the present, use the present tense. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you also said the human now, they are curious. What's wrong with that sentence? The human now, they are curious. Okay, who are they?
Right, people.
Human.
Yeah,
In that sentence,
yeah,
the human now, they are curious. Who are they?
human.
You are talking about the humans,
Yeah.
right? So you already have a subject. You do not have to make another subject. You now have two subjects. First, you said the human now, and then again you have they. So two subjects already. So you remove one subject. So you can just say the humans now,
Are.
yeah, are curious. Okay, that's it. It's a common problem. That's what we call redundancy. Okay. You know that word?
Presentence.
Redundancy.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I know this word.
Redundancy means repetition. Okay.
Yeah, I see.
Repetition. So humans and then they. Okay. There are many redundancies that we usually use. Okay, but try to avoid those because it will reduce your score in vocabulary and grammar at the same time. And again, S sounds, S endings with the word because, for example. Okay, it should be because. News also. News. And
News.
okay, other grammar. Like the most thing that make the media more popular. You were confused with question number 3.
Yeah,
Right?
because actually when I think about when I listen your question, at that time I didn't focus the question. So at the end of the question, I
Realized. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's about the media.
Yeah, media.
How to make it better. Okay. You mentioned you realized already at the end, but I think by that time you did not have enough time anymore. It was already done. It's already more than maybe 2 minutes. Yeah. So, okay. In general, you were able to answer the questions, but with these mistakes, you still need to practice a lot more in grammar and some pronunciation, but more importantly in grammar. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you call anyone who is available now? Maybe Tanny or Tiffany?
Yeah. I think Tiffany are already right now.
Okay. So, yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah. Thank you for teaching me today.
Yeah. See you, Mike, some other time.
Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany.
Ủa, em gì ạ?
Tiffany.
Tiffany here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming.
Okay. Teddy.
Hi.
Hello, Tiffany.
Nice to
Good
see
morning.
you. Yeah.
Nice to see you again. Yeah, yesterday was cut off.
Yeah.
So we stopped with the last question, right?
Okay.
In part 1.
Yeah.
Wait, I will just set my timer because we always have a time in the test, right? Okay.
So we'll start over again or just
No. Yeah, we just continue. Do you remember your answers yesterday?
yeah, not all of them, but
yeah, generally you can remember.
Yeah.
I would just like to remind you of some points that you mentioned yesterday. So you talked about online newspaper, right? Okay, you like reading them instead of the printed newspaper, and you like watching CNN, BBC, like those. Okay. And yes, you read some magazines. Okay. And then I will ask you now the last question in part 1.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get started. In what circumstances do you usually listen to the radio?
um, I don't usually listen to the radio. I have to say that, but I do listen to sometimes, because I'm a huge fan of football, and in my residential school, we uh, are not allowed to use the internet, so that's why I cannot watch the football match through computer. So sometimes, if there is a match of my favorite football club, I just listen to the radio. So I cannot see the image, but I can listen and know the how is it going with the match. And also sometimes I listen to the radio to listen to some music so that these songs can sing me to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, we are done with this part. Now I would like to move on to part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this part of the test, you will have at least 1 minute to prepare for your answer and at least about 2 minutes to talk about the topic.
Right.
So here is the question for part 2. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Your 1 minute preparation begins now. You may begin talking about the topic now.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk about a radio station that I usually listen to, named World Football Radio Station. So as I said before, because I cannot access to the internet here, so that's why I usually watch the radio. And the main reason I watch that radio station is to know about some news and um, the process of the matches related to my favorite football clubs like Barcelona. And the thing I like about it is the quality of sound is really good. Like I can listen to it really clearly and know how this is going with the match, though it's half of the earth from me. And yeah, I often watch the radio at night because my favorite football club is Barcelona, and uh, it is it is in Spain, so it's far from Vietnam. So the time that the match happens is in the midnight in Vietnam. So that's why I usually have to stay up all night and listen to the radio. Um, in the past, I listened to this channel, World Football, a lot because I had a lot of time, and also at that time I still really have passion for football. But now I'm preparing for my IELTS test and I have to focus, so I just I just spend a little time to listen to some important matches of Barcelona.
Okay, Tiffany, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that would be all. Now, I would like to talk more about this topic. Okay. How important are newspapers?
I think it is newspapers are vital to human beings because it provide the news to people, and like in this modern world we need to know about universal news, not just like local news. So and also newspaper bring both local news and universal news, of course. um, and we can know about, like, I like football. I like to um, I like to read about football, and but by thanks to newspaper I can know about them, though they are really far from me. So in conclusion, it's help people to get knowledge and news that from all over the world.
Okay. Thank you very much. What could be the consequences of the decline of newspapers?
I think the consequences in the reducing of newspapers is people are like uh, people will find it hard to approach news, and
Mm,
therefore we will like cannot get uh, like knowledge news from anywhere in the world. So maybe we will be lack of uh, knowledge and news. I think
mm.
so.
Okay. Yeah. I would like to talk more about this. How reliable are newspapers, television news, or the internet as news source?
I think they are not too reliable. They are not so reliable. I don't really totally trust them. Um, I think it's about I trust them about 50%. Because you know the newspaper, the internet, the news from the internet or television, they also always affected by the government. The first thing is the like political issues, and the second thing is maybe there are some like someone that be like stand behind those like social media that they want to make the society to believe something or to buy their products, for example. So they can like use money to make them write something that is not true, and make us like uh, food.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. For my last question in this part,
Okay.
what can be done to make the media better quality in your country?
Mm, I think there are a couple of things that the government can do to improve the quality of social media in my country. Like with the first thing is with television, or another social media like the internet or radio. Um, they should include more English programs in them, so that like people in Vietnam um, can have a better level of English, because now like I think the level of Vietnamese in English is not like so high. So that is the first thing. So and the second thing is um, the government should be like should be um, should be honest itself first, so that after that they can control the newspaper, the news in television and the internet to make them more trustworthy, or by um, try to prevent some uh, effects of the outsiders.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all for your speaking test.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We say.
So how was it?
Okay. Generally, Tiffany, your English is good, very good actually. Your pronunciation is also very good. However, there are just a few sounds that you sometimes miss. But I know you can pronounce the sounds very well, but sometimes you just maybe forget.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to part one first. Yesterday, when you talked about the media,
Yeah.
Where do you usually get the news from? Okay, you told me you are reading news online.
Yeah.
Okay. However, you mentioned online newspaper. Okay. What's online newspaper? There's no such thing as online newspaper.
So how can we call like BBC and CNN? Like
Online news.
okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Newspapers are always printed.
Okay.
That's why paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say online news.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great. And your pronunciation for cuz or because. Yeah. I heard you can pronounce it very well. You repeated it many times today.
Yeah.
Okay. But yesterday there was one sentence you missed the Z or S at the end. So I
Okay.
just heard like because you were speaking fast, quite fast.
Okay.
Okay, so it just sounded like k. Yeah, cause and then blah 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 other words. Okay, but that's fine. You just need to remember it. Okay, and then question number two: do you regularly read the news? Any magazines? No, because you usually read
Online news.
online news. Okay. However, you mentioned CNN, BBC, and whatsoever. Do you read CNN?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, possible. Okay. Is BBC also printed? I mean,
No,
is
actually,
it
I read them online. Like I read them.
Ah,
Maybe I
okay.
misunderstood them also. Like I think magazine also like online.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
can I ask what is the difference between newspaper and magazine?
Mm-hmm. So newspapers usually contain social events.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so news about society, government, sports, entertainment, and whatsoever. However, for magazines, they are only specialized in business generally. Okay, so articles about successful people, articles about successful companies, articles about good places, yeah, like those. Articles about good lifestyle, health, and so on. So they don't talk about murder in the Philippines, the rape in whatever place. Yeah, so that's the work of the news.
Okay, I got it.
Newspaper or news, okay, and then magazine for usually for entertainment
Yeah.
and knowledge, education.
Mhm.
Okay. So you were got confused with magazine and newspapers in this
Yeah,
part. Okay,
I did.
but still that's fine. Um, what is this? What did I? Why did I wrote? Oh, maybe pronunciation. Okay, for like
Yeah.
the k sound.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it was not complete because you see, I wrote here this word quite, and I put some check mark.
Yeah.
This word, many check marks. That means you repeated that many times.
Yeah. Yesterday I talked with another, like with a native speaker, and he said me I say like too much, like.
Many times, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's overused.
Mhm.
Okay, so much as possible, try to reduce the usage of that expression.
Mhm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Pronunciation for the past tense of read. What is the past tense of read?
What do you mean?
Read.
Read.
What is the past tense of read? Because you said,
Read.
I,
Read.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh, got it right.
Yeah.
You said yesterday, I have read the newspaper. Yeah, I have read.
Okay.
Okay, good. And then again, you used like. That's fine.
Like.
How do you pronounce this word?
Redundancy.
No. Uh,
Okay. Rarely.
oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yesterday you pronounced it like rarely. So I was
Okay.
wondering, what's your native speaker's accent? Is your native speaker's accent British or American or Australian? What's your your native speaker tutor? British or Australian?
Yeah,
American?
British, I think.
British. Oh, that's why you pronounced it rarely, because rarely is British.
Yeah.
Okay. American is rarely. Okay.
I usually say that rarely, but I don't know why. But like my native speaker tutor is just like it's just teach me like one time. Peter
Okay.
is my tutor, my frequent like tutor. Peter, Vietnamese.
Okay. Yeah. So rarely is British. Only
I
that one.
see.
One time you got confused with your L ending, but I can see that your L ending is very good. When you mentioned the word school.
School.
Okay. Yeah, that's L, not schoon.
Okay.
Common mistake of Vietnamese, but only one time. Other L's, they were very good. Like you mentioned many times football. I realized, oh, your L ending is very good. No problem. But yesterday, it wasn't for
Yeah.
one word. Okay. Not yet. For the last, huge fan of, very nice. You're trying to use expressions, English expressions. That's good. Huge fan of or a big fan of. That's good. Your F. Your F sound, especially with the word if.
If.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, but before, it sounded a little bit not enough.
Yeah.
It's like a combination of P and F, like if. Okay, just perfect.
So
Use perfect F.
I want to ask, do I speak too fast? Should I slow down a little bit?
Yeah, it's your next comment.
Okay.
Okay, especially now when we started our class, you spoke too fast. Okay, remember that in the test they will also consider the clarity of your voice, and if you speak too fast, they might not be able to catch some words. Now, actually, I did not catch one word. Like you said something like, can blah blah me to sleep.
Sing me to sleep. Like,
Okay, can sing me to sleep. What's that? Can sing me to sleep.
I mean, when I listen to the song, I get like I feel the soft rhythm and I fall asleep.
Yeah, so it can make me fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but not sing you to sleep. Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Mhm. For part 2, yeah, very good. You talked about, I'm going to talk about. However, the general comment in part 2 is you started describing about the past too late, right? You already, yeah, you have already described too many before you described the past, and it's already almost 2 minutes. Remember, in part 2, you only have about 2 minutes to talk about your ideas. Okay. Too short answer, maybe your answer will not be enough, right? Too long answer means you will not have enough time to give all your opinion. So too long answer was your problem here in part 2 today. Okay, so you didn't have enough time to talk about other topics already, right? Okay. And so you didn't talk. Remember in here, it is suggested that you talk about the past, right? So you talked about it, very nice. And then for the ending part, you can talk about the future, right? Yeah, so about
I was supposed to, but I don't have enough time.
enough time. Okay. Actually, it was more than a lot more than 2 minutes because I was really hoping you could talk about that part. Yeah, to at least finish 2 parts, the past and the future. But it's already 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, so it's way beyond 2 minutes. So I had to stop you already. Okay. You used the expression I'm gonna talk about. That's nice. Okay. What I heard was, I know this is not what you mean, but this is what I heard, okay?
Okay. Assess? Like,
Yeah,
see,
you said
not
assess.
assess.
I
Assess.
know, you mean
Assess.
ACCESS, right?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce that?
Assess. Access. I don't know.
Yeah, access.
Access.
Yep. So that should be the sentence, access. I cannot access the internet.
Okay.
Okay. The first one, assess, means to examine. Okay. Access means be able to use, okay, or be able to log in if you're talking about the internet. Okay.
I see.
So know about the news, that's fine. Okay, one more problem in pronunciation. Could you read this word, please?
Sound.
Yeah, your N in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, so could you follow me? Let's say account.
Account.
Okay, around.
Around.
Okay, yeah, because that's a common mistake of Vietnamese speakers also, N in the middle. Okay. Now this is okay. You said watch the radio at night.
Okay. Listen.
Do you remember that? Okay. I heard watch the radio, so listen to, right? Okay. Very good expression. You used stay up. I think you used more expression, but I was not able to take them down. Okay, but it's very good. I could hear many expressions from you. Okay, stay up. That's nice. But there is one more that I want you to use an expression, but I couldn't find somewhere. I did not underline. Okay. Anyway. So time management in part 2. Always remember. Okay. Part 3. Okay. Generally, you were able to answer all of the questions here. You even talked about universal news and you like to watch football. Yeah, question 1 is okay. Consequences. Grammar. Okay, in question 2. Okay. What could be the consequences of the decline of newspapers? Okay. You said consequences in the reducing.
In the either like
You
the
said in the reducing, so it should be in the reduction.
okay.
Yeah, reduction is the noun form for that. Okay. Noun form of reduce. Okay. So what other word can we use to mean consequences? Because much as possible in part 3, you try to paraphrase the question if you are going to repeat it, right? What could be another word that we can use to mean consequences?
So maybe result,
Okay, results.
effect.
Effects, that's nice. Okay.
That's all I can think about.
Yeah, those are the most common words that we can use. Mm-hmm. So the results in the reduction of newspapers.
So we need to try to paraphrase like
Much as possible, you try to paraphrase it because it will add up to your vocabulary, your ability to rephrase the question.
I see.
Okay. You also do that in writing, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In speaking, also you try to do it, especially in part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because paraphrasing is one way for you to think more. While you are paraphrasing the question, you are thinking of other ideas that you can use in your body part. Okay. Uh-huh. You said again, approach the news. We don't approach the news. Okay. We listen to the news. We read the news, but we don't approach the news. Okay. There. And then you said the news, blah, 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 and then they. They is talking about the news, right? So you have 2 subjects in that sentence. So you can just say the news from the internet. Okay. The news is your subject. You don't have to make another subject. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they make us like fool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. I just put a question mark because I think I couldn't hear the last sound very well. Yeah, fool. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of things. What's wrong with that?
What?
There are a couple of things.
There are a couple.
Yeah. Okay. Can you try to blend? There are a couple of things.
What do you mean?
I mean, can you repeat that? And you try to blend. There are a couple of things.
There are a couple of things.
Okay, yeah, that's better. If you don't want to blend, so you can pronounce the words clearly, then there are a couple of things.
Okay.
That's okay also. Because a while back, I couldn't hear the article a.
Okay.
Okay, and it will reduce your score in grammar.
I see.
Okay. Government include my English programs. 2, okay, the government should be honest so they can control the news. They can be honest and then they can control the news.
Before the previous question, like I said that the government can affect the newspaper as well. So I want like the government like be honest first, so they can help the newspaper to be honest, to be more honest.
Okay, that's better. However, if you say they can control the news, yeah, that means they will manipulate. It's still not a good idea to manipulate the news, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so the misuse of the word control, yeah, and honest. So they are contradicting each other. Okay. Only that, I think you already mastered how to properly give the answers. Yeah, the only problem now here is some pronunciation, just very few, and grammar.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, and some inappropriate vocabularies. But generally, you can get a good score here, I think, in speaking. Okay?
So
And speak more slowly.
Okay, so can you like give me a score that I like for today?
Oh, for today I couldn't, but I could give you my assumption. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, because for me to be able to give you a more appropriate score, I need to analyze this. You know, this is too much to analyze.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think wait.
Anh Tân có nói gì?
In here, willing to speak at length or may lose coherence at times due to occasional repetition, self-correction, or hesitation. Generally, I think you can be able to get 6 or 7 here. Yeah,
Okay.
6 or 7, but most probably it would be in 6.5. Do you have did you study the,
Yeah.
what you call?
I
Yeah.
have marked.
Okay. Yeah. In here, I think you will be in the middle of 6 or 7. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that's it for today, Tiffany. Yep.
so will you like keep going with Tenny, or will we end
Yeah.
the meeting here?
I will go with Tenny because our class is until 10:30.
Okay, so Tenny.
Yeah.
Tenny, it's your turn. So
See you.
yeah.
Yeah, some
Bye.
other time. Yeah, bye.
Ok.
Thầy cho 6, thầy cho 6 đến 7.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Tenny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm so happy. Yeah.
You are so happy.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. In the real test, you know what happens, right? They will ask you about your ID or your passport, and then they will
Yes.
read the rules in
Yeah.
IELTS Cambridge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the examiner will say, now let's begin the test.
Yeah.
So I would like to talk about news.
Yeah.
So where do you usually get the news from?
Get from I come from in Hanoi. Yeah.
Okay, so you are from Hanoi.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm asking about where do you usually get the news from?
Okay, I understand. Oh yeah. I usually get the news from the internet, like newspaper and magazine.
I'm sorry?
And magazine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
So do you regularly read any magazines?
I usually read in the morning and every day. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What do you read in the magazine?
I read a lot of information from economic and some and sports news and some funny story in the newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Now, do you often read a newspaper?
Yes, I read newspapers every day. Yeah.
Okay. Where do you buy them?
I just read on the internet. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For my last question in this part,
Yeah.
in which kind of circumstances do you usually listen to the radio? I repeat,
Yeah.
in which kinds of circumstances do you usually listen to the radio?
No, I am not like listen to the radio. Yeah, because I like I read some newspaper or magazine with so many picture and many words in there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you like printed
Yeah.
materials. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are finished with that part. Now I would like to go to part 2.
Yeah.
So in this part of the test, you will have at least 1 minute to prepare.
Yeah.
And at least about 2 minutes to talk about the topic. You may use a pen and a paper to write about your ideas. Okay?
Yeah.
Your 1 minute preparation begins now.
Okay.
You may begin talking about the topic now.
Okay. Yeah. Um, in Vietnam, I often watch television than the radio. Yeah, because with television I can both see and listen some news from the world or Vietnam. Yeah, and when I see the movie, I feel relaxed and I can know everything happened with happen around me, and it help me feels come it help me expand my knowledge, um, and I can feel so happy when I see everything happen. It yeah, and in the future, if I think internet is important to improve the way what I watch television. Now I can watch television on the internet. Yes, and I can do many channel than before. Yeah, like Netflix, Cinemark, CNN. Yeah, and when I watch television, I can learn English. Just and it's helped me improve my English. Yeah, especially listening and reading. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that would be all. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now I would like to talk more about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So how important are newspapers?
I think newspaper is very important because they provide knowledge, provide news happen around everybody. Yeah, and um, and I think it's very cheap to me. What I can buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What could be the consequences of the decline of newspapers?
Sorry, can you explain this question on?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what could be the results of the decrease of newspapers? Decrease of newspapers. So now, not many people are reading the newspapers, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So, what could be the effects?
I think newspapers could be change the content and content um, and some information in there, and the way how and the way how it impact in with everybody.
Okay. Yeah. For my last question here.
Yeah.
What can be done to make the media better quality in your country? What can be done to make the media better quality in your country?
I think that is we need to improve the content on the commercial. Yeah.
The commercial. Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, we stop there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Tani, how do you feel after the exam?
I think it's not good, but it's just the exam. Yeah. So I maybe I need more to practice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Extend my skill.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. And vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's go back to part 1 first.
Yeah. Okay.
So you committed a mistake with question 1, but it's okay. That's not a big. That's not a big problem.
Yeah.
So I usually get the news from the internet. That's very good. Yeah. However, you said like newspaper.
Yeah.
Is newspaper on the internet?
Yes. Like in Vietnam, we I usually read dân.com or vietnamnet.com. That's a big newspaper in the internet. On the internet, yeah.
No. It's a big news site.
News site.
Not a newspaper.
Okay.
That's why we say news and then paper. This is paper.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you have to know the difference between online news or internet news and then newspaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So magazine, it's okay because magazine can be online or can be printed on the paper.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Question number 2. Okay, so you get information for economic. It should be information About economy.
Okay. Yeah.
Economy.
Yeah.
Okay. Economy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not economic.
Yeah.
So information about economy, sports, and other things.
Yeah. Yeah.
In question 3, do you often read the news? Oh, no. In which kinds of circumstances do you usually listen to the radio? No, you don't listen to the radio, right?
Yeah.
You said, I cannot like.
Okay.
You said, I am not like. I am not
Yeah.
like listen to the radio. You should say, I do not.
Yeah.
Not I am not. Okay. I do not like to listen to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To listen to. Remember, every time you use listen, it's always listen to something.
Yeah.
Yes. So listen to the radio. Mhm. I like listen to. Again, you repeated the mistake.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to listen to.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think that's already fine in part 1. Part 1 is not too long. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the same with part 2 and part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
For part 2 and part 3, you need to speak more in each question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to part 2. I think you forgot to talk about, remember in part 2, you need to use lots of adjectives, right?
Yeah.
And then you can describe the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can describe the present.
Yeah.
And
the future.
yeah. Did you talk about the future?
I forgot. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did you talk about the past?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't hear it actually. I heard mostly in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, the present situation. So those other parts were missing.
Yeah.
And most of the time you got mistakes in grammar, so you need to
Yeah.
fix. Again, you said listen some news from the world. It should be
Yeah.
listen to.
Listen
some.
to. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You said when I see
When I see.
movie. You said when I see movie,
Yeah.
but it should be when I see movies,
Yeah.
right? Okay, that means every time you see movies,
Yeah.
many, not only one.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel. What do you feel when you see movies?
I feel relaxed and funny.
Okay, relaxed.
Relax. Oh yeah, it is the part. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So could you pronounce relaxed?
Relaxed.
Okay. Yeah. KST.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you said it help explain. It helps.
It helps. Yeah.
Yeah. It helps to explain my what?
My English skill, like reading and listening.
But I think you mentioned this. How do you read this word?
Knowledge.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah.
To explain my knowledge. Or maybe you want to say it helps to expand, not explain.
Yeah. Yeah.
To
Expand.
expand. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. It helps to expand my knowledge. Could you repeat that sentence?
It helps to expand my knowledge.
Got it right. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I can choose. Okay, pronunciation. I can choose.
I can choose.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said many channel. Is that correct?
Uh,
Many
channels.
Correct. Yeah. Many channels than before. That's right.
Yeah.
I can learn English. Okay, that's okay. So the general comment in part 2, grammar and the parts. You missed the past and
Yeah.
describing the past and the future.
Yeah.
Okay, as your conclusion. Mhm. And let's go to part 3 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. For part 3, question number 1, how important are newspapers? Okay. They provide news happen around. Okay, your grammar here is quite confusing. They
Yeah.
provide news happen around everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Maybe you want to say they provide news to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. They provide news to everybody, or they you want to use happen. They report about what happens
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
Okay. They report about what happens around the world. That's fine. Mm-hmm. You also said very cheap to me, what I can buy it.
Yeah.
Grammar is kind of really confusing. Yeah, maybe you want to say it's cheap to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's it. It's cheap to
Yeah.
buy, so I can afford it.
Yeah. It's
Buy, so I can.
okay.
And change number 2. What could be the consequences of the decline of newspapers? You already understand the question, right? Because
Yeah.
I explained. Yeah.
Yeah.
What will be the effect if people do not read the newspapers? Okay. And you mentioned change the content and some information in there. It's not an effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in this question, actually, you missed the answer, but it's at least you spoke.
Yeah. Okay.
And for the last part, what can be done to make the media better? So you just suggested 1, improve the content on the commercial. Okay. So just the commercial part. What about the news? No need to improve. Okay, maybe it could be better if you generalize. You say improve the content, commercial content, the news content, and what else? Commercials, news, and
How about picture?
okay, that's you mean the graphic designs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graphic design.
Okay, graphic designs,
Yeah.
television programs.
Yeah.
Improve the television programs and so on. Okay. That could be okay. So, Tani, generally, you need to practice more on vocabulary and grammar.
Yeah.
And practice more in part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more important that you practice more in part 2 to be able to complete all the parts, like the present, describing the present, the past, and the future.
Yeah.
Okay, because it will be easier to answer that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions for now?
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope to see you again in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So is Peter there?
No. He may be in the outside. Yeah.
Okay. So could you call him for me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's not busy, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
If he is busy, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hỏi cái nào luôn ta? Gọi đéo. Hả? Chỉ là nói chuyện đây cái nào vậy? Dạ cảm ơn gì không? Các bạn này nói như thế này. Oh, sorry. Now he's busy. Yeah.
Having a class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's okay. I will just send a message on
Yeah.
message for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So see you around.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.